In this video, I'm going to show you how to do the graph for the scientific method lab. I'm only going to do this with one set of data, but you can apply it to all your sets of data. So notice I've got the data table typed in here with the two variables and the measurements. So the first thing you want to do is click on the first cell and drag until you've highlighted the entire set of data. Then you go up to the Insert tab of the menu bar, click on Insert. That's going to give you a new toolbar. In this toolbar, you'll go over to the Charts section, and you'll see there's a little icon that looks sort of like a graph. You'll click on that, it'll give you a menu, and you're going to want to select the very first option, which is just the data points. We'll add the line later. So click on that. Now notice a couple things in my graph. First of all, there's no axis labels, so I'm going to want to add those. So if you look up at your toolbar, it's now in the Design tab. So if you go over to the left and find the Quick Layout icon, click on that, and it'll give you a menu, and you want to select the very first option. What that'll do is give you Axis Title text box for you to put the axis in. So we'll go ahead and put a title in. So this one is nose length, or hand length versus nose length. You don't necessarily need the units here, so I'm going to go ahead and delete those because we're going to put those on the axes. So if I click in the axis text box and then I highlight all of this, I can put here hand length, and I'll do centimeters. Now the first column is always the X data, and the second column is always the Y data. So I can go over here to my Y axis, and I can put in here nose length and centimeters. And now I've got my graph labeled. Now notice that all the data points are kind of bunched in one area. That's not good. You want your data points to be spread out throughout the entire plot. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is change the range of the axis values. Okay? So if we look at our x-axis data, the lowest value is 22 centimeters, and the highest value is 33. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the range of our x-axis to be 20 to 35. So if you hover your mouse over one of the numbers on the x-axis and right-click, you'll see a menu, and you'll click Format Axis. A new window is going to open over here, and you'll want to go to the bounds, which is the range. So for the minimum, we're going to put in 20, and for the maximum, we're going to put in 35. Now notice that Excel automatically did that for me. It may or may not do that. So if it does, and you're satisfied with that value, just leave it as is. Then you can click out of here. Okay? Now we're going to do the same thing for the y-axis, and our lowest value on the y is a 4, and our highest is a 9. So we'll do a 4 to a 10 range. So we right-click on the axis, we go to Format Axis again, and for this one we'll do a 4, and 10 is already selected, so we're good to go there. Now we want to add a line here, but we're not going to connect the dots because these data show us the correlation relationship between the data sets, or the variables. So what we want to do is add a straight line through these data. So what we're going to do is right-click on one of the data points, and you'll see a menu. It's going to say Add Trend Line, so you'll select that option, and it will automatically select the linear option, which is what we want, and notice that the line is represented. Now you can go ahead and close this window here. What this line represents is the best fit of a straight line through the data, and what it does is it exhibits the trend in the data, meaning does the data show an upward trend, a downward trend, or no trend whatsoever. In this case, we see a downward trend. Now we can also transfer this graph to its own page so it's bigger. The way you do that is you right-click in an empty area of your graph, you go down to the option of the menu that says Move Chart, click on it, and then you're going to want to select the first option that says New Sheet. You can name this whatever you want. I'm not going to name it anything here, but you can do that if you want. Then you click OK, and it transfers that graph to a whole page, so it's a lot nicer looking.